I'm also going to put up tonight a link to a YouTube video where John Pilger interviews a well-known psychopath, and you'll hear a psychopath rationaling, as psychopaths do, the slaughters that this guy was involved in the past. So look out for that at the end of the night. And this particular psychopath is not an uncommon type. It's up in government agencies and services. They have them in all generations. They hire them like crazy. They look for that type, in fact. And it's worth studying them, because a psychopath can literally rationalize anything at all. Anything, any horror can be rationalized because they must save their own ego. Even the ones who are murderers and mass murderers like to boast about how they did it after they're caught. After they're caught, they think that they'll get applause for being so clever. And yet what they actually did don't even enter into it, the horror that they brought in. And we should never forget that in every generation, these psychopaths are up there hired by those who rule the world to do exactly as they do. And I've warned over and over and over again that the slaughters you saw in the Soviet Union, mass slaughters, there's more and more videos coming out now, thank goodness, have been heavily suppressed from the whole Soviet bloc, and now they're coming out. And it's incredible, the slaughters that you see, far surpassing even what we saw in Germany. And remember, this can be reintroduced at any time in any country. I always think of Germany that saw itself as the pinnacle of a scientific culture. And it was. They'd long tossed the religions out the window. They were unshackled, you might say. They were on the avant-garde of science. Science was going to explain everything. And people really thought that they had the best education in the world, and technically they did, certainly in those scientific matters. And they were in utter shock that what happened could have happened there. That's the same everywhere, actually. And today is absolutely rife for it. It's ripe. So, watch the video, as I say, study the psychopath as he speaks and justifies everything that happened. And for all the lefties out there who think they're talking about the right-wing psychopath, they're no different in the left wing. In fact, a psychopath will sniff the wind, and if the regime changes, he'll try and get the same position or even a higher position when another regime comes in. That's the nature of the psychopath in all ages, all times.
Duane Claridge was head of the CIA's Latin American division in the early 1980s.
Chile, the only reason it exists is because of Pinochet.
At a huge human price.
What human price? Give me a break.
The thousands who were disappeared and murdered?
Thousands? You count them. What thousands?
Well,
and
I've
don't
seen...
talk to me about truth commissions.
I've seen their names in the cemetery in Santiago.
Yeah,
you're saying they're
thousands.
fakes?
There aren't thousands.
Well,
there aren't thousands.
It was a period in which almost everybody in the present situation regards as a dark time, in which the CIA played a major role.
That's right. They played a major role in overthrowing, what's his name?
What's his name was Salvador Allende.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
He was democratically elected.
Right. Okay.
Is that okay to overthrow a democratically elected government? Is it okay?
It depends on what your national security interests are.
Are you denying that Pinochet caused huge suffering in that country?
I don't buy. That he committed crimes, I agree.
But it's worth it.
Huh?
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, those crimes are worth it?
Yeah. Sometimes, unfortunately, things have to be changed in a rather ugly way.
According to the Truth Commission and a whole swathe of human...
Come on, John. If this is where we're going, you're wasting my time. That's all bullshit. Those people all had agendas.
So it was bullshit that the Salvadorian military were murdering tens of thousands of people.
I bet you can't count more than 200 in the whole 10 or 12 years. You're taking the stuff from these propaganda mills. And I'm not interested.
What are the propaganda mills?
All these things, this truth thing and all that, they're nothing but propaganda mills.
Do you really think
I
they're...
know so. You have...
Are they all conning us, lying us?
Yeah,
Amnesty
of course they are.
International?
Amnesty International's right in the middle of it.
What right have you, when I mean you, the CIA, the United States government, or any foreign power, what right do you have to do what you do in other countries? What
National
right?
security interests.
But that's a divine right, isn't it? Because
I know
the
it's
people
divine.
that you do it to have no say in this.
Yeah, well, that's just tough. We are going to protect ourselves, and we're going to go on protecting ourselves because we end up protecting all of you. And let's not forget that.
Right. Right? No, I won't.
We'll intervene whenever we decide it's in our national security interest to intervene. And if you don't like it, lump it. Get used to it, world. We're not going to put up